Hi, my name is Sandhya Valecha and you are watching SVTV. In the past few weeks, I've been getting emails from writers complaining about the cutthroat competition and the resulting low pays in the writing industry. Especially, an email from Swati um, compelled me to create this episode for you guys. And it is not really the cutthroat competition out there in every area of writing. I think a lot of people are making a mistake because they're going after what the masses, are flocking towards. All those content mills, I wouldn't name them, you know what I'm talking about. So they're flocking to the content mills where the pay rates are atrociously low for any writer worth his or her salt. So I'm here to bust the myth that pay rates are low for writers. They aren't low. There is a gold mine. There's a gold mine out there which is probably untapped by the majority of writers because they don't even know about that. So I'm gonna bust that myth about cutthroat competition and low pay in this very episode. So are you guys ready? Right, so as I was talking to you about that gold mine, what is that gold mine? Okay, the gold mine is the industry of trade journals. Yes, trade magazines and trade journals are your gold mine where you can make a lot more money than any writer can make writing for mass magazines or the content mills. Why do I say that? Well, one, because breaking into these trade magazines and trade journals is pretty easy. It's way easier than breaking into big magazines with lots of followers and millions and millions of readers out there, all those consumer magazines. And the second point being that these trade magazines have smaller staffs, and so they rely on freelancers and they welcome new ideas from people who are aware of their industry. Right, so this brings me to the mood question you've been waiting for. How can you get started making money writing for trade magazines? Let me spill the beans on that. I've got three cool points for you on that. One, decide which trade magazine or journal matches your interests. Nothing beats personal interest. If you're interested in something, you will go out of your way to deliver awesome content. So the first point is to find out which trade magazine or journal matches your interest. Second, find out which trade magazine or journal matches your background. We all have awesome background. Some of us, like I studied journalism and international politics. So I've been ghostwriting in that niche, in the trade journals in that niche successfully and making way more than a regular writer writing for content mills. And yeah, third point, find out the trade magazine or journal that matches your writing abilities. Okay, I think this encouraging point will really push you forward in getting started with the research for trade magazines. Okay, so the encouraging fact that I want to share with you is that there are over 9,000 trade magazines or journals. And I mean, if you could just get your foot into just 7, 8, or 9 or 10 magazines, you're set to making way more than any regular writer writing for content mills. So once you find out the magazine that matches your interests, your writing abilities, and your background, go ahead and do a Google search, and I'm going to share more on that. Okay, so now list out the subjects you're interested in writing about, and then move on to do a Google search about these magazines' editorial guidelines. So nothing beats awesome research, and nothing beats a well-prepared writer who knows a magazine's editorial requirements. go ahead and request sample copies of that magazine. They would love to send you the sample copies because they know that you're interested in writing for them, and every magazine sends sample copies. So that should be an easy one. Next, find out if the stories in the magazine are written by staff writers or freelance writers. And I've got a cool technique to help you determine that. Check the story byline against the masthead list of staff writers. And you could also do that by checking the author bios. After having ghostwritten for trade magazines for several years now, I've discovered that there are just a few types of write-ups that figure in trade magazines. And you know what? There are not hundreds or thousands of styles. In fact, these are just a handful, less than 10. And I'm gonna share with you more about that in the next video. But till then, find out the trade magazine that interests you and go forth with all the steps that I've shared with you. And now don't come back and tell me that there's cutthroat competition out there. There is abundant opportunity out there for each one of you, and you're not meant for content mills or low pays. You are gonna make your career skyrocket. Go forth and do the research on trade journals and trade magazines. I'll talk to you in the next video. All the very best.